So we're gonna be ugly today because the bodyguard has both of my clamps for my gimbal. My other gimbal was a Indiegogo thing, I think, and hasn't been charged in years. And so now I'm using the Movo hand clampy thing, which is rather funny if you ask me. So, how are all my people today? Let's see. No, I'm trying to adjust the brightness on here because I can't see anybody. That's all it goes to. That's the old phone. So, it's a little cold and stormy here, even though it's sunny. Welcome to San Francisco. So, we're walking from our car, trying to figure out where the heck we're gonna go. And while I'm doing that, oh, hello pyramid, standing in the middle of the street. How's my pyramid today? Ah, yes, pyramid, I miss you. There should be like a restaurant at the top of it, you know, so you can go up there and hang out. That's what I used to do all the time. I had a thing for hanging out at top of the building places in the city, and there are a few because we have hills. I don't know why. So yes, I'm walking slower than usual too because I'm afraid of falling. I think I have something stuck to my boots. Yes, I do. Let's see, what was that? I don't know, but now it's stuck to the other one. No, it's not. Okay. Trying to break in my motorcycle boots. I've been trying to break them in for 5 years now. I have bizarrely normal feet, which means I don't break in shoes very easily. And high instep. So my ankles are 9 inches. So try to get a boot that fits. So I'm probably going to have to, or construction again. Or maybe, you know what, that could be a cable wheelhouse. Never even thought about it. They have them hidden around, and who knows what it could be running. It could be a transformer for the uni cars or whatever, but they blend in with the landscape because they didn't want them sticking out and making the city ugly. We can't have an ugly city. We have to have a beautiful city with a ton of hills. Hello, Fluffer. Thank you. I'm going to need all the help I can get, considering this is going to be a bouncy one. See, it's already bouncing. It's not centered, and I had to turn it slightly because the handle of the thingy was obscuring the camera. So, yes, I'm in study mode. That's the study mode face. Let's see, I don't have it down yet. Voice, because I'm mostly talking to myself in my head. Yeah, it's gonna be, this isn't no Confident Chris, that's for sure. I don't know how he has a camera that doesn't shake much. I'm not good at that yet. Or see, it has little balance thingies in it, so it can at least, the bottom one doesn't work the right way though. So I can at least try to keep it even. And it's not like I walk around a ton anyway, even though I was going to today, trying to get steps in, but oh well. Let's see if it works better with one hand. Of course, I'm using my left hand into my right hand. Let's use the right hand. It's got even a little, one of the reasons I got it was because there's a Scientology person walking over there, and the signboard's on the ground, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it, Osa. Wrist straps. So that way if I got it knocked out of my hand, it would just fall to halfway to the floor. See, this is what happens in San Francisco, is that you get people who don't know how to do anything, and they try to make turns in small San Francisco streets. I didn't do that. So, hi people, I'm here. Time to drive you crazy. Do you miss your family? Do you miss your friends? Do you wish you hadn't have to get up and close that door all the time? Hello, Scientology. I'm here. And I didn't knock down that message board over there. That was the wind. Hi, Fuzzy Pink. Aw. Sorry, traffic. How much do you owe? How much do you think you owe? How much do you want to owe? Bet those credit cards are maxed out. I wouldn't let anybody but me max my own credit cards. Okay, time to get to the other one. The 2-phone thing is going to work eventually. And see, this is the problem, is I can't fix these things very easily right now because I only have one. I don't have a gimbal. And the world needs a gimbal. No, I think... Well, actually, you probably know about parrots more than I would, and I'd probably know more about parrots than you would. They only come around sunset. It's too loud here. Hi, Lexianne. Welcome to the universe. I'm looking at notes. Let's see. I'm trying to get this one down too. You know, some people think that belonging to a society like this is just being hypnotized, and that one of these days somebody will say the right word and you'll pop out of it. What have you learned today that has nothing to do with coursework? Do you read a book? Do you read trash? Are you allowed to read anything but coursework? You know, it's not hard to read a book. There are bookstores all over here too, or there's at least one that you probably go into and sit one of the chairs with a book and read it. Ooh, I should have wrote down. I'm reading a protest book. Since we have the infamous City Lights here, it's a bookstore that's very famous. That would have some missing material, and we went there the other day, me and the bodyguard, and I bought some books, and one of them was on dissonance, I think. Not much in the windows today because I can't lift them that high. See what see, that's what I have right now. I had to try it out sooner or later anyway. It's crooked. Great. Those are those two things. Yes, the services. I don't understand the freeloader debt, because it shouldn't be a freeloader debt, because they provide, I know it's volunteer, but that's crazy. They are, you know, making sales for them and providing services, but they still have to pay a freeloader debt. I think it evens out. If you ask me, they should probably even give them money when they leave based on what they do. So, but you know, hey. Oh no, I've already done that one. Oh, we have them up, but today, what is it with that door? I love the fact that they can't close the door. So, oh God, my notes are everywhere. Do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? Do you miss your chosen family? Do you wish you were with your chosen family making hot dogs? Or not knowing how to make a hot dog? If you make one in a microwave, you just have to cut it up a little bit. Do you miss your stuffed moose or bear or rabbit or some kind of Sanrio character that you had on your bed forever? I bet your mom has her on the bed or him on the bed and thinks about you every time they go to sleep. Oh yeah, the ultra confidential stuff is that a alien overlord named Xenu took a lot of people who were supposed to be prisoners, froze them, threw them in volcanoes on this planet, and then flew over those volcanoes with DC-8s and dropped hydrogen bombs. So that's why you have Thetans all over you. And if you become clear, if you're not clear yet, you'll know, or now you will know, that there will be more Thetans after you become clear, because that's when they tell you, you lose. Ooh, I'm cranky. I know, their door tech does need work. Yes. Fuzzy. Moose. I always now remember Moose. More seasoned people protesting. We have such a great mix of generations. Yes, I belong to Gen X, but weirdly enough, a lot of the second gen belong to Gen X, because Gen X is technically 64 to 84. They're 20-year increments. So, anybody who was born between that time is part of my generation, which is the invisible generation. That's what we're known as. If you need help on after you get out and you don't want anybody snooping in your equipment, you can go to the EFF.org, which is the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Go into the contents and click on tools. It'll show you how to keep all of your stuff pretty much free of bad computer Thetans. LRH was convicted of fraud in France. That's why he spent a lot of time on his yacht. I'm just going to call it a yacht from now on, because everybody says boat. And it's like, no, yacht. It was a yacht. And he had young people helping him with it, which is weird and gross. Do you miss going to picnics with your family, or going to the beach, or going to the amusement park with a picnic basket thinking you'll open it up and use it? A free litter debt is not enforceable. And besides, should it be a straight up like 1-to-1 because you're volunteering? And so your services should be worth as much as your coursework, especially if you're getting people to come in and buy more courses. That's not very fair, is it? Let's see. Yes. Do you know in Oakland you can go to Laney College for free and get your associate's degree? That's the one before a master's degree. You can also go to a place called Amazon Turk. They provide little bitty jobs to do online, like go through grocery receipts and pick out things, and surveys, and translation for English subtitles. You can go on there and click on something and see what kind of skills you need. Then you can go finish the skills in a test. And then you can go work for them. It's not a lot of money, but if you get really good about it and you're all organized anyway, the organizational skills will come in handy, because you'll be able to get these all down pretty good. And I'm sure you could make at least more than here. The SPTVFoundation.org, SPTVFoundation.com, and Aftermath.help will help you all get out of Scientology if you want to. Because if you're young enough, you should go have a more productive life than sitting here trying to sell people courses and books. And if you're older, then you can go get out and have a life that you have not had for however long you've been in there. Don't let them fool you that old people cannot survive outside of Scientology. They can. It just takes a little bit more ingenuity and luck, but you can do it. And all of you, I'm sure, can, because you're all very organized and know how to get your ducks in a row. Quack, quack, ducky, ducky, ducky. So you can leave. If you leave, the society will not collapse. If there are millions of people like they say there are, Why would it collapse? It's statistically impossible. And since your name is Scientology, you have to believe in some science. You can go to a temporary agency to get a real office job or real job at doing whatever you're good at, in case you're a fixer-upper or you're the one who always fixes the computers. I left my thing on. I left my ringer on. Yes, you took both my gimbal clamps, so I'm going to have to order more. That's why I'm on the other one, but we both thought I wouldn't use it anyway. That's what you get now. You didn't look. So it's probably on the seat next to you. No, we're not going to get a dog. I'm sorry. The Norwegian, if you look at the shorts, she became way too skittish, and I thought maybe I was overreacting, but today when I was brushing her, I moved my hand and she jumped. So we've got to get her to calm down before we get, his name was Valentino. He was a pointer poodle or pointer doodle, and he was adorable, and his face was clearing up very well because he was mauled by another dog, and the owners couldn't afford his surgeries, so his face is healing miraculously. And he boings, he just jumps up and down, and he'll have fur all over it, and he'll be gorgeous, and somebody will take him. So I'm not worried about it. If it was where he was going to be disfigured, and we probably would have taken him even with Birdie the way she is, because people are mean when it comes up to adopting pets. They either have fetishes, like my neighbor's gonna foster a puppy without eyes. That'll probably go fast. But when it's superficially, they're not very good at that. But then again, everybody does it to everybody, so can't help it. We're trained and brainwashed. So I wonder if I'm making people go up the front door. And why isn't... See, I assumed that and we all know what happens when you assume. I assumed that everybody was back here because nobody is up front. Is it that the skeleton crew is beyond skeleton? Wow. So then it'll be easier to get them out of here. Let's see. I'm looking back at other days because I haven't finished going through my little booklets to put them here on my Evernote. Okay, let's wander around to the main one. Oh, and anybody who knows this song, it's the I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing song, but done by Coca-Cola. It's going to be stuck in the rest of your mind, or it's going to be stuck in your mind for the rest of the day, because it's stuck in mine. Because Marilyn Honig and Kelly Copter were doing a Who's Got the Worst or Weirdest Bad Commercials, and they did a, like, not weird necessarily, but weird was the Coke commercial from the 70s. So she remembers it, so that means that everybody between my age and her, I'm 4 years older than her, will remember that song, and it will be stuck in your head. But then again, what do you want? Do you want to have Feliz Navidad instead? I did it so early this year. Usually we wait to December to make people do that. Or you can rickroll yourself. You know, stuff like that. No biggie. So yeah, no dog till probably after August, when the next wave of people going, oh, I didn't want to keep this dog. I just wanted him for the summer. So we should have Her Highness socialized by then. So did anybody come and pick up the board? They did. Oh, they rightened it back up. I don't know though, if you've got wind coming, you shouldn't put it up in the same place. How windy is it here? Not very good at it yet, but do your friends miss you? Do your family miss you? Do you miss them? Do you wish you could talk to them? Do you wish you could be with them on a day like this when it's cold outside and it was raining before and little rain bursts everywhere? Do you wish you were making toasted marshmallows over your fireplace or over a gas stove and watching them burn and then complaining about the charred bits because you have to eat them anyway. Oh, let's see, hypnosis. I think the hypnosis thing, I can't remember what the heck I was watching yesterday, but it was like somebody, I think it was YouTube, and they said, you know, it's like hypnosis. All culty activity is sort of like that. So I was thinking that maybe if you pop out of it, or maybe if there's a word, you know, a special word. I've been hypnotized before. I'm very easy to hypnotize. It's really disgusting. I used to have a video of me doing it at a comedy club. I laughed at the wrong thing. So, you know, maybe there's a word. Maybe when, you know, they do their thing, they use a certain word. So, let me see. Do you miss your friends? Do you wish you still had your friends that you miss? They'll take you back when you leave. Hell, they'll take you back now. You just have to be willing to talk to somebody who's declared. You won't burst into flames. The phone number to help you get out is 727-266-5797. That'll take you to the SPTV Foundation. I have no idea. You know, I'm going to find some of this stuff that I wrote somewhere else. So, because I thought I put a lot more into here than I did. I should have just brought a book with me. How much do you owe? Do you know how much you owe? Do you know how many credit cards you have? Are you assuming that all your credit card limits were what they were when you last looked at your statements? Do you look at your statements? Or do you just wait for someone to call you to tell you that you owe a lot of money on a credit card? If you get a job out in the real world, you can settle it with a credit company, and if you show them a real pay stub, they have no problem giving you a break on what you owe, and you won't have to sit here and waste time. I was talking to an executive as they're walking back. Sorry. So, because she looked older and probably under the belief that she can't do anything with her life. You know what? If I wasn't cuckoo lala, I could probably go get a job tomorrow. But I have major anxiety and I'm a pain in the butt. So, let's see. Oh, no, I probably said that. Do you miss your friends? Do you miss your family? Do you miss your chosen family? Do you miss your pets? Do you miss your friends' pets? I was very attached to a friend of mine's dog. Do you wish you could walk the pets now, or pet them, or play with them with a piece of string? Because cats aren't very bright and they'll play with anything. Do you miss your favorite cat or favorite dog? Have you been in long enough for your family to know that you're not talking to them anymore? Just because they're not part of the society? That doesn't really make sense, because they didn't do anything for you to stop talking to them. It was your choice that was handled by this society to make you more insulated in a little bitty bubble so you won't communicate with the outside world. You want to communicate with the outside world. It's not bad out here. There aren't millions of Scientologists either, I'm sorry. We're more in about maybe 100,000. That's not a lot for as big as this planet is. And if they didn't fix it in the past 70 years, how are you going to fix it in your lifetime? And when you're older, do you want to be treated like they treat older people who don't really have a use anymore? They put them at the blue building and they give them menial tasks. So your elder years are not going to be very happy either once you're no use to them. Do you want to be that way, or do you want to be able to have a fulfilling life, be enlightened, and do anything you want to? without having to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's a library within walking distance, and you can go read a book and hide it and belong to the Hidden Book Society. Like I said, most bookstores also have chairs for you to read books that you haven't bought yet. So you can go get knowledge for free. It is power. You should be able to ask a question without getting into trouble. You should be able to voice your opinion without having to do menial work because you did that. Everybody has their own thoughts. Everybody has their own feelings. Are you allowed to have feelings? Or do you just have to suck it up and move on? All of life is not like that. Some of it is, but all of it is not like that. We are allowed to have just exhausted breakdowns that last 2 minutes and then go away. You're allowed to have that without getting into trouble. Real world doesn't make you pay for every kind of emotion you get. And most people like hugs too. When was the last time you hugged someone that was in your family or in your friend set? Do you miss them? I know they miss you. I miss all of my friends who I don't have anymore that were close to me. It's not a bad thing. You shouldn't get in trouble for it. It should just be another part of life. This is not life. This is a replacement bubble for you to be put into till you're not needed anymore, and to put you in a position where you can't afford anything. Do you want the world to be like that for you? You can always leave. There are people who will help you. The SPTVfoundation.org will help you. So will aftermath.help. Like I said, on Sunday we found out that aftermath.com was a posthumous cleanup site. It's the easiest way, company, easiest cleanup site, easiest way to put it. Cuckoo Lala, is that what it is? Well, you're not supposed to say crazy anymore. It's not nice. Even if you are, it's not nice. So it's like saying fat if you're fat. You can't say that because it's not nice, which is really weird. I got corrected on that, and it was like, but that's like saying that I can't make Pocahontas jokes even though I'm native. It's weird. Oh, and does anybody know where redheaded stepchild came from? We've used it my whole life because I grew up in Oakland, and Oakland was always the redheaded stepchild of San Francisco. So your org right now is run by a skater punk who the SFPD do not look well on because they don't like skaters. That's why they built a park in City Hall Plaza so they wouldn't go anywhere else. I know this because I had a friend who was a skater punk in the aughts and in the tens, and he would get harassed by the PD because they think mostly what they do is cause damage. So that's why there are bars up on all the concrete benches in San Francisco. If you look and it belongs to the city of San Francisco, it has bars on it. It's not to keep the homeless off of it. It's to keep the skater punks from riding on the edges. Now, aren't you glad you have a skater punk for an organizer in your org? Does he come anymore here? I saw him a few times, but I don't see him anymore. Has he given up and left? Does he not pay attention to you guys like he should be paying attention to you and make sure that the org works right? If you have somebody who could blow you guys off that easily, should you even be in there? You should be out here contributing to society and helping the poor and indigent and people who need help. You guys don't help anybody. You barely help the people in your own society. And that's why I call it a society, because a religion has charity. And they're not even charitable to the people inside their own orgs. So they all ship the old people off to the blue building. I don't even know what they do to disabled. And speaking of disabled, I guess I have to report this to San Francisco now. So, because that's supposed to stick out so people with low vision can see it. And we all know what FSCIO thinks of disabled people. And if you look in, I think it's Going Clear, Is it fair game? You just have to watch them both. But ABC had them interview, I would say, Rinder. And the guy who was interviewing him was in a wheelchair. It was awesome. It was like, and you couldn't really see the wheelchair unless you like concentrated on his chair. And it was like, I was wondering, how does MR think about it? Because at the time he was the spokesperson. So, do you miss s'mores? I don't. But supposedly they're great. And you make them when you're camping, and you make them at picnics, you make them at bonfires. You can have a bonfire on Ocean Beach over here. They have specific areas for it. You can take all of your society people and go have a bonfire. Are you guys allowed to do that? You should try. Bonfires on the beach are really fun. I told you I didn't turn off my sound on my phone. Especially when you can't figure out how to start it. Yes, a lot of people who have had bonfires on the beach don't know what they're doing. Luckily enough, they're designated areas and they don't get hurt. Do you miss the people you do that with? Do you just miss everybody who isn't declared, everybody who is not in the society, and say even your neighbors because you're not supposed to talk to them? I thought the point of all of this was to get more people so you could save the earth. You can't save the earth if you don't talk to people. You can't save the earth if you don't talk to me. That doesn't make sense. Because there are a lot more me's out here who don't necessarily believe in a religion or a God, who would probably be needed to make the world the way it is. Because don't you want to go to scene 2 or home 2 so you can go up and do more things to help clear people, but not give them charity? Yeah, it's when I don't have my notes, it's harder. When I don't have my notes, I go home and my brain hurts. And I always think I'm Aaron, being unmotivated. No, it just hurts to think. And especially with the brain fog. Oh, I wonder if the guy over here, he belongs to the deli down the street, but he's hanging out here. And I know that scientists go over to that deli or that cafe because I've seen them. I try not to bother. I've been in it once. It's sort of cute, but I really don't want to cross paths with them when I'm not on camera. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking about it as, you know, side job, and I don't want to do any proselytizing when I'm not got the camera, even though I will. The plaque doesn't even say what the date is, though. I need to look that up. It's like normally I do go over my own videos, but I haven't the past couple of days because there's a guy that's been here the whole time. He was leaning up against the wall at first. And now he's standing there like it's a bus stop, and it's not a bus stop. It's a tour bus stop. So, yeah, and I can take notes about what I've missed or something, or what I need to look up, but I can't do it right now because I'm not looking at my own videos for some reason. Oh, because everybody else is taking my time. So... And it takes at least a half an hour to feed the girls at 5 because the younger one got used to me petting her when she ate because her bigger sisters were jumping on her back. So there's another Lily. Was that in the same Lily place? Is his death date coming up or something? I think this is his... Yeah, I think this is his picture window. So, and I can't go up there because he's talking really loud. So I have to come down here. So, do you like fluffernutters? You can go get one right now. You don't have to sit in there wondering what it tastes like if you haven't. Please, for fluffer squirrel, you can't. What's a fluffernutter? It sounds familiar. But I don't even know. I mean, I don't think we have anything here called a fluffernutter. Do we? I'm probably saying something really dirty, aren't I? It's like, what is it in England? You're probably being mean, aren't you? Which is fine and funny, since you guys have to put up with all the wobbling from me walking. So I'll look it up when I get home, and then I'll make sure you can hear me scream. But this is what I get from a good luck charm, right? See the guy on the left-hand side? He's been here the whole time. And like I said, it's not a bus stop. So I guess I'm not supposed to know that. But like I said, nobody can follow me home right now because my police department is totally enamored with keeping my neighborhood clean, because they don't want invasions from other cities. So they were even there yesterday because they were asking questions from something, I guess, that happened earlier in the week. So they come at the drop of a hat, and I said hi to them, and they were very nice, of course. So wow, everybody's talking really loud today. It's very strange. Unless my ears unplugged because I have bad Eustachian tubes. Freaking Californian. You can tell I'm a Californian. Mine is I want one. No, apparently it's a USA special. Peanut butter and fluff sandwich. Ew, gross. No wonder I've never heard of it. A peanut butter and fluff sandwich. So that would be the fluff would be God, what is it called? I know what you're talking about. It's in a jar. See, I haven't had any of these things because they use high fructose corn syrup, and that stuff gives me headaches. Or I do the real big crash and fall, and then it gives me a headache. So they have yet to acquire said fluff. I wish I could send you like one, but we can't even send food across lines unless we have a special for it. Hi, Carrie Ann. How's my not aunt doing? Oh, nice to see you here when I'm, of course, about to get off because it's not a productive day. Marshmallow cream, yes. It's like Kraft marshmallow cream. Ugh. So, do you wish you were watching a bad movie tonight? I'm sure you have a catalog of them on your phone or at home where, your chosen family is. You're probably not allowed to watch bad movies because they'll probably have some kind of content that's bad for you. So don't you wish you had the chance to make up your mind to do that instead of having to think what you're going to get in trouble for and what you're not going to get in trouble for? Do you miss that? Do you miss your family? Do you miss your moose? Your stuffed moose you got in Canada? Because that's all they have in Canada is moose. And geese. Little monsters hang out in the East Bay. With the squirrels at one of the community colleges, I see it occasionally. I've got to go see if I can find them together again. So, because it's very funny. There are tons of squirrels on this grass, and the monsters who will chase you. Our Canadian geese will chase you. They hang out together occasionally, and these squirrels like steal stuff from the geese. But I think it's like geese mating season or something. They seem to be hanging out in small groups, or I don't know if they're polyamorous or what. So, but all I know is that they used to chase my mother for her Cheerios when she was golfing. So, and then the squirrels would come and get her hazelnuts, I think, peanuts, and run away from the golf cart. So, of course I have to like two of the things that drove my mother crazy. I drove my mother crazy. So, the SPTVFoundation.org will help you get out. Aftermath.help will help you get out. You can also get a hold of SPTV at SPTVFoundation.com. I would like to say, don't go to aftermath.com. Ew. Oh, and I guess I'm going to be done then today. Sorry, guys. I know it's a little bit short, but it's cold, and I'm wearing a down coat. If you know someone named Liz Ferris, can you tell her dad that she misses him? Save Bob Ferris. You never know. The person who's here, the older person who's here, could be from, Sacramento, where Liz is, or LA, where everything seemed to happen. It's possible. So you got to say it at least once. It seems to be my day today is So one more time. Do you miss your friends? Do you miss hanging out at the cafe with your friends, giggling about avocado toast, wondering what the big deal is? Do you miss going to movies with your friends or watching movies at home and eating bad fast food and making jokes about it and having Big Macs, chase your friends around like talking? Or was that only me? It wasn't even me. Of course, if I could. I mean, isn't there some kind of marshmallow cream? You figure in UK, I mean, now that would be a totally American goofiness, wouldn't it? Lord knows, if we can make it weird, we'll make it. So let me see. Do you miss hot fudge sundaes? Do you get to have hot fudge sundaes when you want one, say in the middle of the day, or do you have to ask permission to go get a hot fudge sundae? Are you allowed to leave here or longer than half an hour maybe when you're working or volunteering to go get something around here? There's great food around here. There's food across the street. You've got Chinatown a block away. You could probably even find a phone a block away and call your family or your friends. The person you know who would rescue you at the drop of a hat if you just asked. Do you miss things like that? Just something to think about tonight when you're studying your coursework instead of reading a good book or watching a bad television. It's not wrong to think like that. You won't explode if you think like that. The people you think about won't explode if you think like that. The outside world is not covered in evil. It's just like inside the society, except you don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. And people aren't trying to stuff their dogma down your throat. Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you like to be anonymous for a little while? Just asking. I have to have a gluten-free and vegan. Not in America, you're not, Fluffer. Are you kidding? I could probably find a marshmallow cream that's gluten-free and vegan. I live in the Bay Area. So, we're the ones who started avocado toast. So I've seen, let me see, what is it? Some of the gluten-free pastries are good because it's like they're not overly sweet. But I'm trying to think. I saw something the other day that was vegan and I'm like, how in the hell can that be vegan? That, and there is a certain place I go to that I don't like their hamburgers, so I get garden burgers. And I eat them with a fork and a knife. Don't ask. I have no clue why I do that. So, yeah, just move to California. You'll be like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I've got people to deal with that all the time. I had a friend of mine who was allergic to onions. Try making potato salad without onions. Yeah, I don't think so. We have we have Whole Foods. Fluffer Squirrel said, I don't think I'd have much chance finding it in the UK. We have a place called Whole Foods. People call it Whole Paycheck. And it started out as a co-op, collective thing so you can find natural like herbs and medicines and what used to be not fancy but now is, because I guess if you don't use pesticides it gets really expensive, organic everything. So the next time I go by a Whole Foods I'll check. It's very possible because people are like, yeah, they eat that way but they want a vegan gluten-free version of junk. So that way I guess it's that we can eat it and try to feel better about ourselves about it, but you shouldn't be eating it in the first place. So, okay, it's been 45 minutes and my arm hurts differently than the gimbal. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. Go check out the shorts. I've got the supermodel being clingy on my portable desk. So, yeah, nothing like a beautiful cat driving you crazy. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Nightshade vegetables either. Well, nightshade vegetables are mushrooms, right? So there are enough people on this planet who hate mushrooms. So the onions was a bitch. Sorry. Especially when you were using like your grandmother's recipe for a potato salad and you love onions. I mean, I make a tuna fish salad to put on bread that has so many onions in it, even the bodyguard doesn't want it. So, handy in the kitchen, marshmallow fluff is easier than you can imagine to make yourself. Ooh. Yes, Fuzzy, yes. No, we've called it whole paycheck for a little while because it was like, out here was, you know, the birthplace of vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, high fructose corn syrup, that's mine. Stuff like that. So it was like the old co-ops. Do you miss your family? Do you miss your friends? Do you miss the times you had with them? Do you wish you could call them up on your own phone? Every time it cracks, I do that. Yeah, so it was really cheap. Even 10 years ago to be healthy. Now it costs more than fast food. So yeah, send a link. Oh, and Carrie Ann does know because they have the Walla Walla onions up there. Those are the ones my dad brings back when he goes and visits my family. So it's a very, very sweet onion you probably couldn't go within 10 feet of. And they have Walla Walla onion rings in Portland somewhere, I think north, that are to die for. So anyway, so I'm not going to get into my onion frenzy right now. I am going to sign off and try to see if there are croissants. So I will talk to you all later. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Have a good 8 hours away from me now instead of 7. And there's my pyramid. Burgerville. Yes, Burgerville. Woo! Sorry, I'm trying to do my salutation. You mentioned Burgerville. Now I'm going to have dreams about it. So my cousin will tease me. She actually sent me batter and a couple of Walla Wallas, which is probably illegal to come over the border with them. My dad used to, as he said, he used to liberate blueberries and bring them over here. I appreciate you too, Fluffer. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.